guess what, y'all? I finally read Dune! Ah! Hey, what's up everyone? It's your girl Brainy Shanae, and today I'll be sharing with you my thoughts about this book right here. Please ignore this sticker because I still have to take it off. But anyways, yes, I have finally read Dune, and I had rewatched the movie, and you could say like this is a popular opinion. No, this is not even an opinion. This is a fact. This book is definitely, it's better than the movie. Of course, as a book reader, as people that read book adaptations, they know majority of people will love the book more than the movie. And I love this book. Now, I appreciate the movie. I really do appreciate it. There was some things that was changed in the movie, like one of the main characters, Kynes. In the book, that it's a man. In the movie, it's a woman. So we have that. There's a little bit small changes, but it's all good though. It's all good. But I love this book so much. I feel like, and I appreciate the movie. I feel like I had a better connection with the characters, with Paul, Jessica, Leto, Chani, Stilgar, like Idaho, like Gurney. I feel like I had a better connection. I had a better connection knowing more about the Emperor and the Baron, the Harkonnens, the you know, the planet of Arrakis, Spice, Shai Hulud, like everything. Like, I love this book to the T. I have no complaints about it. Of course, it's a 5 out of 5 stars. Like, I wouldn't be having a video if it wasn't, but I probably would. It just probably wouldn't be like this. Anyways, really enjoyed it. I was happy to know more about the Bene Gesserit. In the movie, I was confused because I haven't read Dune whatsoever. I'm just watching the movie, just, you know, with no clue of what's really going on. And I was confused. I'm like, who's this Bene Gesserit? Who is Paul? Who are the Atreides? Of course, in the beginning of the movie, it says it's Caladan, which is fine. I'm in a different location than Arrakis. We know what Arrakis looks like because it shows us from the very beginning and how the Harkonnens pretty much oppressed the Fremen and their people. So it was good. I feel like I got to know Paul better as far as a person. I know in the movie, like, we had Paul, but we didn't know much about it. We didn't know much about, you know, the Bene Gesserit and the lady that came in to test him, the Shabar, whatever. It's a test or whatever, to see, like, in the book, to see if he was human. We don't get that in the movie. It seemed like she was testing him just to test him. It wasn't, we really didn't know why she did the way she, like, why she did that, put him in so much pain like that. Because she said if animals feel this pain, you know, they'll do whatever. But I didn't really know that she was testing to see if he was human. And then to know more about yes, Leto, and you know, that's his father, and he's the Duke of Caladan. But when she said that he's valuable, he said, yeah, I'm valuable because my father's a Duke. And she's like, no, you're valuable because you are the son of Jessica. And we didn't know much about Jessica in the movie. We don't know anything about her background or nothing except that she was going to be a concubine for Leto, which she's not married to him whatsoever. But we didn't even know why there was concubines in the first place. We didn't know why he didn't marry her. We didn't know, like, how come, like, she decided to have a son and not a daughter. We didn't know much about that except that she wanted to, you know, to have the Muad'Dib or whatever. So it was really interesting, especially finding out about Jessica and who her father is and who her father is to Paul. And just, like, I really wish I could have this, like, a discussion with the people that have read this book and then also watch the movie. I think I've seen some people already do that and I missed the train for that, but I will read the second book right before the second movie comes out, which I think is sometime around the end of next year. I did already pre-order the special edition for the second and third book. I did see that, so I went ahead and pre-ordered them, so it matches with this edition. It also has the sprayed edges, just a different cover in general, but it goes along with this edition. And also knowing more about Chani and Kynes, and they're in this connection between the two of them, I'm like, oh, this is interesting, you know, like, oh, just to let you know, this is like spoilery, so sorry. In a sense, I hope you read this book, or you're going to, like, and you just want to know what it's about to see if you're interested, so that's cool too. But the connections with Stilgar, it's amazing. And the Baron and his motives about his nephew and stuff like that, it was very interesting. And also about the traitor, and how Idaho and Gurney assumed it was Jessica because she's a Bene Gesserit and stuff like that, and they were completely off. They were completely wrong. Like, in the movie, I was so lost. I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, all right, he's the traitor, okay. Okay, they take them and they try to kill them. Okay, they're in the desert. Okay, then they meet Jamies and Stilgar and Chani and stuff like that. And then it just cuts off. That's one thing I will say. I love this book more, because this has 3 books within this book. So we have, hold on, let me get to the contents of this. So we have the contents, right? Table of contents right here. So it has the introduction by Brian Herbert, then goes into book 1, Dune. Book 2, Muad'Dib. Book 3, The Prophet. In the movie, it cuts right off when Paul meets Stilgar again, but also meets Chani for the very first time. He's seen visions of her, but he never really met her. And so that's when she officially, when they meet each other. And then we have Jamies, who pretty much, I forget what it's called. The Chantal Rule, I believe that's called Chantal Rule, where he says, you know, I want a champion. This woman has obviously, you know, defeated Stilgar, because Stilgar is supposed to be their top person when it comes to the fighter, and he was pretty much defeated by Jessica. And Jamie's, you know, order the Chantal Rule. And he was like, who is your champion? And that's when Paul stepped in saying, I'm her champion. And that's when they fight to the death. That is the rule for under the Chantal Rule. And after that, that's where it ends. And they say that you are now one of us now. Stilgar says, let's hurry up and get to Sheikh Tabra and stuff like that. And that's where the movie cuts off. But it doesn't in this book, which I loved. It continued on and on to know more about Paul's training, about Jessica and her pregnancy, and knowing that he's gonna have a little sister, and seeing his future with Chani and stuff like that. And even beyond that, to when they lose their son, Leto II, and stuff. And then Paul says, you know what, in order to do this, you need to do that. I need to marry your daughter, you know, to settle the score, you know, because of course the Baron is defeated. Thank God. Fuck the Baron. Oh, made me so mad. So much, all because a lot of it had to do with greed and stuff, and spice and politics. A lot of politics and power within this book, which I do love. I do like things when it talks about politics, because even in this world today, everything is consumed within politics. With education, it's become political. There's a lot of politics within every single aspect of life nowadays. It's tiring, but what can we do, right? Unless we change things, right? And which takes time, because it seems like we're going backwards instead of forwards. But anywho, before I get carried away. So I fell in love with this world. This is my first time ever reading a book by Frank Herbert, and first time reading Dune, and I appreciate the story. Now I will say, I watched the movie. Obviously, I watched the movie before I read the book, and I was confused. I'm like, okay, let me read the book. And so I read the book, then I watched the movie again, and it made sense. It's just in the movie, they didn't really reveal a lot of details. Like, especially with Jessica and the Baron, there was no type of details, no background of any sort, of any kind, except that the Emperor wanted to get rid of the Atreides because they became too powerful, so had to get rid of them, had to make them extinct in a sense. But that did not happen. But can I read the synopsis for y'all? Let me go ahead and do that. So it says, a stunning blend of adventure and mysticism environmentalism, and politics. Dune won the first Nebula Award, shared the Hugo Award, and formed the basis of what is undoubtedly the grandest epic in science fiction. And I do not read a lot of sci-fi, and this was just amazing. So it says, set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of the boy Paul Atreides, heir to a noble family tasked with ruling an inhospitable world where the only thing of value is the spice melange, a drug capable of extending life and enhancing consciousness. Coveted across the known universe, melange is a prize worth killing for. When House Atreides is betrayed, the destruction of Paul's family will set the boy on a journey towards a destiny greater than he could ever have imagined. And as he evolves into the mysterious man known as Muad'Dib, he will bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. Which he does. He sees these visions, and people really refer to him as a boy, but he speaks as a man. And with this, we're meeting him when he's 15 years old, and then he gets older within time, maybe like 17 or 18 at this, like at the time when the this book ends. And he's grown a lot. He's become more knowledgeable now that he has lived amongst the Fremen, knowing their ways, them training them, and him training them about how his fighting style is, because he's been trained ever since he was able to, as like a youngster, like so young, because you know, his mother Jessica wanted him to be ready because she had expectations for him. She knew who she was, like, you know. So a lot of politics in this book, which, like I said, I loved. There was not one aspect that I didn't love in the book. Now, in the movie, I wish it was a little bit more detailed. But then again, it's a movie. It's not really going to go in detail as it is. And, you know, I really am curious about how they're going to do the movies, especially how it cuts off. Like, it only goes to book 1. So I wonder how many movies it's going to be, because I think there's a total of like five books in this series. Let me see. So it has Dune, it has Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God, Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and Chapter House Dune. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. So it's like, I wonder how they're going to make the movies, because there's 3 books within this first book. So it's like, how many movies is going to be? And maybe they did this because they knew that would be a long time, that like there'll constantly be movies of Dune alone, and people love that. People, like, I'm a Star Wars fan, so I love Star Wars. Never read the books or anything, but I love Star Wars. So I figure like they're going to come out with tons of movies just for this alone, because people that love Star Wars, I know they're going to love this, or they do love Dune. So I get it. It's a good strategy to make some money. I get it. They're smart about it. You know, that's what tons of movies are nowadays, is book to movie adaptations. It becomes movies, because let's be real, they're running out of ideas. So now they're looking like, oh, we have these books, these are brand new, these are fresh, let's do it. So yeah, love Dune. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. It's the shit. It's the bomb. Like, it wasn't boring to me whatsoever. I know this is, some people felt like it was boring, some people loved it, there's some people that actually hated it. But you know, everyone has their own opinion. Everyone, you know, everyone has their own preferences. So if you didn't love it, that's completely fine. But for me, this was the shit. Like, I love this so much. So I have no complaints. Go ahead and read the book, then go ahead and watch the movie if you haven't done so. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend this book for sure. But yeah, I finally read Dune. I'm going to be continuing on reading the series. I'll be reading book 2 closer to the time when the movie comes out. And hopefully, if anyone's doing any live discussions, like, I might just like throw myself out there and be like, hey, can I join? Because I love to discuss this. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot my shot, see what happens, if anybody will do any more live discussions or whatever for Dune. But yeah, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed my little rant about how much I love Dune. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. I'm so animated right now. But thank you so much for watching, everyone, and please stay healthy and stay safe. See ya.